let's move on to our final topic of the evening, flirting over state line. So there was a video that circulated that the state of Kansas put out that was some renderings of like potential Arrowhead Stadium out near the Legends location. And Dale, you said it was a beautiful site, so I won't argue with you. So what do you think about the stadium? And I mean, you're not around here. You don't go to the games in person, but I mean, do you care if the Chiefs are the Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs?
This is still my home, and I'm going to be back very soon. And with that stadium, how it looked, I would be there very quickly and like just to see it and check it out. Nah, like for real, you can't hate on how it looked. And honestly, I think a lot of fans, it seems like when I'm seeing on social media, they mad that it's a potential that they can leave. But I will be just, hey, I don't mind. At least you're in Kansas, bro. Don't go to Nebraska. Don't go to none of that. That's just gonna feel weird.
Don't
Don't
go to
even go down to say.
Texas. Bad
Don't even go
stuff
down to
only
St.
happens in Texas now.
Right, and don't right, and don't even go down to St. Louis as well too. Like respect, like I understand we in the same state. It's nothing like that. St. Louis, y'all know back in cotton, we cool. I'm just saying it just feel weird because y'all already had the Rams there. It just would be dumb. Like nah, I'm cool on that. But Kansas, even though we have this back and forth with them or with our little brothers, little sisters, we'll rather it go to our younger siblings, right? So, if anything, I'm okay with it. But how it looked and how they put it together, it just it looks like I would love to have a WrestleMania come there. I would love it. I'm not even worried about the Super Bowl, but you know, Lonnie, when I've been back on it heavy and just looking how the stadiums be packed out, and we've been seeing, we just had Raw there the other day, packed. Just imagine after the Super Bowl too, that would be lit, bro.
I mean, Dale, fair point. We just saw Las Vegas get the next year WrestleMania, so that
Right?
stadium is less than 2 or 3 years old, I think, at this point. Still very
Yes.
relatively young.
Got Super Bowl already and got WrestleMania. You got the top main events that's happening in the states when it comes to like the biggest stages of them all, right? And I didn't seen some great points of what they talked about where that parade incident might have messed it up too. Who knows where it puts it out? Like maybe this could have been like somewhat of an out for them to try to get out of that lease with Jackson County. I know it sucks for a lot of people that's there. Like I would be mad if I was there too. But damn, bro, that it looked good. I'm not gonna lie, it looked good.
Yeah. So I know it looked good. And let me just be honest. I don't care if they go to Kansas, they're Missouri. Just no Texas, no California, no other state other than Kansas or Missouri. Sporting KC is already over there. We got a different T-Bones over there. There's a lot of different teams and different stuff that we got already that claims Kansas City that is located in Kansas. So it doesn't really affect us any if the Chiefs decide that they want to go over to Kansas City, Kansas, where Sporting KC would literally probably be just like probably a stone's throw away across the street. So it doesn't do me any different. I like it. It looks nice. If Kansas wants to fund the entire stadium and make a brand new facility, go right ahead. But obviously, as you can see, Jackson County, our tax is just something that we're not willing to play with. So if Kansas wants to build a fund and give the funds to the Chiefs to make the stadium over there, build it over there in Kansas, over in the Wyandotte area, I'm perfectly fine with it. Kansas Speedway out there. There's a ton of stuff already out there. So it really doesn't do me any difference whether it's Jackson County, Missouri, or in Kansas. Just no other state other than those two.
Man, I don't want to talk bad about Kansas. They've got a lot of issues. I don't think funding a sports team stadium should be at the top of their list. They've got a lot more issues going on, and I'll just leave that point alone right there. I mean, personally, it can be wherever they want because I'm a fan, but I'm a creature of comfort. Like I've said, I live less than 15 minutes away from the stadium currently. I don't have to drive a major highway to get there. I don't have to wait in line when I get to the parking lot or to leave. I've mastered getting there and when and how long and leaving. So from a selfish point of view, no, please don't leave Jackson County because I like the distance and all the history that Arrowhead Stadium has. But unfortunately, the owner and the ownership group, I should say, or the team underneath Clark Hunt, who's doing the things that he asks, that's not what's important to them anymore. They felt slighted because Jackson County didn't vote overwhelmingly yes when 10 years ago they were paying 3/8 cents to have two stadiums that they could go see right next to each other. And then both teams said, no, you're going to be funding two different stadiums. And the Royals are for sure not going to stay in this location. And the Chiefs were very hot and cold on their plans. And they threw together those renderings trying to convince people. And it was very clear that that was the last ditch effort. They really weren't trying to sell Jackson County to have the Chiefs stay. So I almost feel like it was their prerogative to try to make that look as bad as possible so that they could keep projecting themselves to have the newer and better thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how society is. We can argue that it's not right and that it's immoral, or so be it. But that's just how the owners operate. They've got all this money. They're holding on to it. They think they're going to put it in their graves when they die and take them with it. And that's just not true. So personally, I would love for them to stay within Missouri because it seems that they have that connection here, and people from this state have claimed that team as their own. Obviously, we don't want to see the Overland Park Chiefs or the Lenexa Chiefs.
No, we ain't doing that.
And even then, they wouldn't be called that. But Lonnie can attest to it that there is a difference once you cross over state line on how people operate and think.
Absolutely.
And I don't think the Chiefs would have as much loyalty if Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are done and the team is not winning games as much as they are right now. If they jump over the state line and they start struggling, they will see their attendance suffer. And when you're an NFL team, you want dollar bills all year round. You want packed stadium. You want the Madden gameplay where every single seat in that stadium is full. You do not want to be Carolina and have barely 1,000 people in your stadium that can fit tens of thousands of people.
Right.
So that is what I'll preface everything with. Is when the team is good, they can ask for whatever they want. But when you start being bad, you don't expect the same type of loyalty that you had before when you decided to move from the stadium that you've been at, that you celebrated being at for more than 50 years. How you'll claim that it's such a great thing and celebrate that this is what my dad wanted, this was his dream all along, and then go and say, I'm fine, we can be wherever. Kansas City, Missouri is not that important to me anymore. So I'm just going to say that is not lost on the people around here. And for Clark Hunt's sake, I hope this team is good for as long as the NFL is in existence at this point.
Right.
But the law of averages says that at some point, something's going to fall out. And if they make a move like this, they're not going to regret it in the short term, but I think they're going to hurt in the long term, because any team can be a good tourist team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay is such a small town, but that town owns that team. They feel the ownership of that team. They feel tied to that team. There's a lot bigger towns in Wisconsin that they could move to, and they can get more people to go to there, make it easier to travel to. But home field advantage is a real thing. Buffalo is trying to get a new stadium built. It's not in a whole different location or nothing, but fans, there is attachment to that type of stuff. And so I just want to leave it at that. If it happens, it wasn't my fight. It wasn't my argument. I didn't have a say in any of that. So it doesn't matter if it pleased me or angered me. But that's what I'll end it on, is just be careful with the decisions you make. Don't make decisions quickly and hastily because you want money and the new shiniest thing. Because guess what? 2 years later, another city will build a stadium that's bigger and better than yours, and you're going to feel inferior again. And then the whole thing's going to reset after 10 years. And the taxpayers of the state are going to see the effects of that later. And right now they're blinded by just the circumstances and the celebration of it all. But it won't mean the same after that point. So
everything that glitter ain't gold.
Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media.
If you enjoyed that, make sure to check out the full-length episode below.